Okie dokie. We are live. We're live. Let's get the mic in the right spot. I think that works. I'll wind up. I just slowly drift towards the mic as the night progresses. Oh man. Subscribe to earn drops, it says. Dismiss. Because you can't subscribe and there aren't drops. So there's a lot of lying going on Twitch. I think we're live at least. The rate's good. Hey, Justin Beard, first one here. That is awesome. That's all we need. All we need is Justin Beard and we're good. How you doing, buddy? Just got done with your doctor appointment. Happen to be looking at your phone? Well, right on. Did you get a Twitch notification on your phone, or what was on your phone? Hiccup. Cool, man. Sungreet's here. I was about to say it's just gonna be you and me tonight, Justin Beard. Bryce. First time chat? I'm not familiar with that name, I don't think. Oh, let me actually check this out. Check it out. Let me check out the zone that I'm gonna work in. What's up, Orcish? You want some more M&M? In due time. Work's been busy the past few weeks when I streamed, Sarah said. Yeah, I mean, I stream at really odd hours for you guys. Apologies. Our dear friend Nick has been streaming, I think, hours that are a bit more conducive to you guys' evenings. So, definitely continue to check that out. Mr. the Cow, Tim, Perez, Tupac, what's going on? Let me check out this zone, and then we can actually. Let me see. I don't think anybody should have it checked out. I don't believe anybody's been doing anything in here, so let me see. Checking out. How's the sound level for you guys? I've got to turn it down on my end. It's actually kind of loud. Mozio. Execner? Thank you for the follows. Classic EverQuest, Sneers, Sup Baby, hello. Swanee, what's going on? MMO Pug, Javasteen, Twin Cannon, Chaz Solo, Tsunami-san, hey guys. Derelict. How was Airsoft? Airsoft was a lot of fun. We got rained on the second day. Temperatures were extremely cold at night and in the morning. But it was fun. So. Hey, Davion. Did some LARPing. We were bandits. We were part of the bandit faction. Jasmine really got into the role. She wound up just... She wound up getting into the groove. She was stealing some random... If it wasn't tied down and we were somewhere in a different HQ or visiting scientists or whatever, she was trying to steal it. So that was fun. Black Rose Scythe, what's going on? Hallicrag. What's up, K-Vlog? Byro, hello. Bryce, is that correct? Am I saying it right? Bryce? So I've been watching a lot of your VODs on YouTube. Excited to try out the game. You got me excited for game dev again. Hey, that's awesome. So are you established sort of industry dev? Are you indie dev? Are you just a fan of game development? Tell us all about yourself. Hey, Mosio. Where did you go airsofting, if you don't mind me asking? We participated in an event called Operation Chernobyl. And it is a fairly big but not huge airsoft event over on a really, really large, old, abandoned, well, not abandoned anymore, Soviet era East German Air Force base. So it's a really huge environment, all dilapidated. It's Germany, so they don't stress as much about like, hey, there's broken glass and broken whatevers. They just tell you to be careful and don't injure yourself. You got trees growing up through buildings. They've got HQs set up for the various factions, 5 factions. It's essentially like playing Stalker, but in real life. It's a place called Malvinkel. Yeah, it's unfortunate that none of the videos really show it off well. Here, I'll show you an actual picture. Does it have aimbotters and hackers like Stalker? No. But like, if you were to look at this in this background and make it the size of, I don't know, a small American town, like a small town. And does it hurt to get hit by a projectile? Not really. No, it depends on where you get hit. And then there's 5 factions. And all sorts of fun stuff, and yeah, and there's in-game vehicles zooming around, and all sorts of fun stuff like that. It's super cool. You do missions, earn currency, rob people. It's a lot of fun, man. It's easy to get into. And then at the same location has a bigger one called Dark Emergency, and I think that was like 3,000, 4,000 people earlier in the year. So that one's that one's a bigger one, less LARPing, more just big gunfights. So Bryce said indie here, traditional software developer, but getting started on some side projects in Godot with my wife and kids, doing art and game ideas. That sounds fantastic. That's super cool. The new family business. I think about that a lot, you know, because I want to move out in the country eventually and have like a little tiny farm kind of set up. I really enjoy our garden, and you know, it's one of those things where it's like that used to be a generational thing. So it's kind of, I just pictured you immediately with like this generational family game development business. That'd be cool. Yeah. Airsoft was great. Pipes. Had so much fun past weekend. I'm glad to hear it, Red 6. Yeah, it sounded like it was very successful. More learnings happening, but the tech was still pretty stable. Got a lot more people in without things crashing. So that's all good stuff. Ollie got some good learnings out of it as well. I don't know what it is. I don't know. It's just like it resets the camera settings in whatchamacallit, in Streamlabs. Eventually, I probably just need to switch to a different software. But then I'll have to like reset so much stuff. I hate it. I have to get my voice modulator, my pirate software voice enhancer reset up. Don't want you guys hearing what I really sound like IRL. Can you explain why you've chosen Unity over Unreal? What are the benefits? I'm learning Unreal, but it's a lot. Hello, Craig. We chose it early on because it was the engine that Ollie felt we could get up and running fastest. It was the one he was most comfortable with. From my end, excuse me, I was like, I could go either way. There's cool stuff in Unreal that I just assumed we wouldn't be using. A lot of what we do in terms of our work is, you know, it's in a database or some sort of a front end for a database. It's not something where we'd really be taking a lot of advantage of blueprints and shit like that. We didn't have artists on the team to piss and moan about lighting and how much they'd rather use Unity's or Unreal's lighting over Unity and stuff. So we just, you know, we got started, and within like a week or so of talking about stuff behind the scenes, you know, Nick and Ollie and I, like Ollie had a little working prototype room, which is actually the basis of Ancient Crypt. So if you're ever in Ancient Crypt, that little setup there, that sort of test dungeon, it's really just a test dungeon. That was something that used to be one room that Ollie cobbled together, and we were like, oh, we can log in together, and we were just like the capsule orc. And then it's like, make the room bigger, and then let's make an outside, and we made made the outside like plain, and then like punched a hole in the wall, and then we're like, we're free. So that's the evolution of it. In terms of like Unity though, for as much shit as it gets from different people, I understand the lighting, I guess, is cool in Unreal, but like I've worked now in Unity and I've worked in Unreal. DC Universe Online was Unreal. And man, like random engine, like it would randomly crash on us. Basically, I just kind of look at it as like, I've had no problem. Unity has not been like a, oh man, I wish we would have. There's no regrets. You know, it's worked. I've been blown away by what the tech guys have pulled off with it. I've been blown away by what the art folks have done when you get in there and you're in some of the environments where the lighting's going, or yeah, it's just it's good. So yeah, DC Universe Online was Unreal 3 when everybody else was using 2.5. At the time, I think the only MMOs messing with it were us in a game called Huxley. So what am I doing today? Probably gonna grab a couple more of these camps. And while I'm in here thinking about it, dupe them out. Don't want to get too crazy. I've always been worried that if there's too many camps for the Ashira, it would seem unnatural, but the lower end would benefit from having a few more camps out here, so why not get them in? Can goblins carry more than 1k in coin to make fun jingly sounds while walking? Can goblins carrying more than 1k in gold or coin make a fun jingly sound while walking, especially while jumping? Running to the bank in relative silence broke my immersion. That's not a bad idea. I mean, does it have to only be goblins? What's up, Robonic? Wallabus, Dragon. $73. Is that correct? 73? I'm going to ask every time because I honestly do kind of forget. Tsunami-san, Thadbic, Beer Chug. What's going on, guys? Corvus. Dankus. And Milan, Baron. Baron asked, when is the November playtest again? Are we still projected Q1 2026 for EA? Each day I'm reminded how close we are to such a cozy game. We're still on for November. And we're still projected for Q1 2026, but keep an eye on. Our first goal is to get into beta in a state where we're happy with it being called beta so that we can get the infos that we need. So that's our first goal, and then that will drive the dates after it, right? So, and if you haven't seen, we did an update, right? Updates. We gave you a little update to let you know what we're thinking. Our big thoughts. Here. This thing. If you haven't read that. Beta and early access are not the same thing. Beta is going to help us be prepared for early access as best as possible. Maybe a couple Bloody Nose goblin camps near their ramp to tell Akira to balance out the Ashera camp. I have to look up there. I have to kind of see what's one, what the need is, and then two, whether or not they fit, whether it makes sense. So let's tackle that separately. When will characters stop being wiped? EA or full launch? EA. Once we go into EA, then it's considered essentially, it's a soft launch. Yeah, we got a camp here. I forgot about that one. So we can add a few more, right? Why not? So your EA characters will persist. Can we get frog locks in Night Harbor sewers instead of goblins? We don't have frog locks. When we, not if we. I'll be more definitive on that. When we get a cool humanoid frog creature, you may eventually find one in the sewers. Any chance to have an open playtest over Christmas? Mooks M&M. You even have M&M in the name. Look at you. You're fancy. We don't know. I don't know. It's a fair question to ask. Not hating the question. Don't know. You gotta explain your name to me one more time because I'm gonna mess it up. It's not Chicken Poker. Chicken Poker Gaming. You explained it to me last time, I forgot. Asteranian and Master J, so thank you for the follows, guys. Sup baby said solo to 8 or so around Sungreet in Shaded Dunes during the stress test. Appreciate the vibes. Right on. Glad you like it. We are very we're very vibe focused. We take our vibes seriously around here. Oh, dude, you just said thank you for saying the name right. Now I'm like afraid to say it again because I'm gonna screw it up. How did I say it the first time? Asturanian? Did I say Asturanian the first time? Shit. Now I'm on the spot. You're like, thanks for saying it right. I'm like, how did I say it? Yes, Asturanian. I nailed it. Dr. Pterodactyl. Dude, you guys' names. I love them. Dr. Pterodactyl, thank you for the follow. Finzig. I just pictured Glenn Danzig as Finnegal. Oh man. Speaking of which, oh, there's a dungeon that you will not see on a stream, I hope. In game that is I honestly I got to run through Stab ran me through it like yesterday, I think, and I was just like, oh my god, this is cool. And it's just like, oh, by the way, we added another dungeon. It's a smaller dungeon. This is a small dungeon, but it's badass. Yeah, so our zone list for early access is a lie. Our zone list for early access is definitely a bit of a lie. I don't know what to this slope here is so legit that it's kind of hard to place a tent or anything here. Maybe if I tilt it a little bit, but that feels a little awkward now. Press it in here. Right? Like, it's a little bit, like, here is better, and we're going to put some up here anyway, so I might just bring them up here, but I wanted to add a little something there. Iron Dad Games, what's going on? Everybody that's asking about Airsoft, thank you for that. I won't drag on about the Airsoft details too much. I know people aren't here for that, and they don't want to hear me babble about our Airsoft experience the whole time. I will say it was a lot of fun. Jasmine had a lot of fun. So Did you Chicken Plucker? Was it Chicken Plucker? I gotta scroll down now. Chicken Plucker is correct. I'm so behind on chat. You know, I think there's more of you chatting these days, so. Alright, I'm just gonna scroll down. You'll repeat the question if it's important. POV footage of Airsoft. We don't take pictures, we don't record, we just kind of get there and get in the zone. Sorry, I'm reading some stuff real quick. Mark that unread so I get back to it. Okay. doing other work, doing Slack work while also looking at this stuff. That's how I said I want to hear what loot she made out with. One thing she stole was we were in the science lab because at the very beginning of the first day, we were told that we had a progressive mutation disease that we had to do a whole bunch of different missions to basically get resolved. And so we kept having to go back and forth to the doctors, the scientists, and she just she stole a random bag of eyeballs in like ice. It's all like fake. And other stuff. Just like she pulls it out of her coat. I'm like, what the hell is that? Where did you get it? Nick kept us all occupied in your absence. Glad to see you back though. How's beta coming along? We're working towards it. Yeah. It was cool, man. He put in some hours on streaming. Master Jasso says, I'll skip some of that if you read it. Cool. Otherwise, there'll be spoilers. Robot was directed to this location by another player, which is cool. How is someone supposed to find that entrance without pure luck? Trying to get a better better at exploration patterns in M&M. Some stuff may be just luck. Some stuff may be, depending on what type of thing it is, it may be. Well, I guess it's kind of luck when it's right time, right place, because we'll be doing more and more with like conditionals. So, was it nighttime? Blah blah blah. But for some of that stuff, we'll have some references depending on what NPCs you talk to, or kind of what quests you do. You may get little hints here and there. For that one, there's you know what? I'm not going to get into spoilers. I will say that it is a location that can be learned about. There's stuff going on there. It's not just like a, hey, here's a spot for you to camp. Yeah, you never know when you need a bag of eyeballs. I think that was definitely her thinking. Being shown a cool hidden dungeon by chance encounter with a stranger sounds rad as can be, honestly. Yep. So, and it's directed towards like weird rare spawns of like NPCs or resources or whatever, right? So it's something that as we go we'll get more of in, and we'll get better at like kind of looking and seeing, hey, what's the best way to present this or hide this or reveal this or whatever. So keep in mind, like, this stuff is, this is kind of, it's our first attempt at different things. It's kind of the most basic certain things will ever be. And we'll continue to learn from them as we go, right? The guys have been really good at knocking out little mini dungeons and stuff, and then that creates those opportunities for us to do stuff where it's hidden or conditional or whatever. So and keep in mind, guys, we're working towards getting into early access, and we want to be in a solid state as we're getting into early access, have enough there for you to pull you through more early access, and then as we build out more and more of the game, tons more shit to do. We'll backfill mini dungeons or zones in older areas as we go forward as well, so it's not always just progressing in the easterly direction. It may be backfilling some stuff, and then once we got that in place, the game kind of starts when we hit 1.0, and then it's hiding more stuff in these existing areas. Our goal has always been to create this world that feels very deep and it's a place you're familiar with, right? The goal is not to move you to another continent, in another continent, in another planet, and all that shit, and take you away from this place. The idea has been to, by the time we hit, once we're at 1.0, basically come back through a lot of these zones. There's entrances to zones that you're walking by regularly in different zones, right? There's a lot of opportunities for us to put stuff in, and then with us doing the deep, the underworld, it just adds even more. You're going to see some zones coming online. Some of them may be shown in stream that are Module 1 zones, and I think you'll be pretty excited about the feel of the underworld, and start to get a feel for just how big the game's going to get scale-wise. There is no giveaway here, Crazy Mike. All I give away is I'll give you some free rambles and analogies. Van Dragon, thank you for the follow. 9 minutes ago? Holy shit, time flies. Any insight into the dwarves in Sungreet Strand lore-wise? The ones behind the quarry? They seem high-level and dangerous casters meant to be killed as a high-level group only. Good reminder on those guys. There's this whole story with them. So I will not provide any of that insight, but I will say that there is stuff to learn about them, and they do have a history. Pitched the idea to Nick via email, but haven't heard back regarding discussion we had about initiatives in a regiment, largest American military gaming community. You good if I forward it to you? Feel free to send it over. Correct said, "Hey Sean, I think I speak for others, but I'm in withdrawals, waiting for the launch. Hope you're doing well." Hey, sorry you have to wait, but it's cool to hear that you're excited. I'm doing well though. Thank you. Largest issue with the tests I played was mud commands. Every time I bring it up, people just say it's in the newbie guide. Feels like it needs more in-game approach to its introduction. In-game approach is a difficult one for us. It's just there may be some things that help on that front, but it has such an impact on the feel when it's like when you start doing tutorial stuff. I'm not a fan, but hey, I am but one opinion on the team. I think between an offline tutorial that we've talked about, where you can just kind of be in the world, the plane of meat, where you're able to just experiment with stuff and play around and get a feel for how things work. That's cool. Having a very just solid manual / new player's guide will hopefully help, and then asking around and watching content. I mean, so Rogue Balkan, thank you for the follow. Somebody asked another question up there that I wanted to answer, and then I got sidetracked and missed it. Is the goal, so Derelict asked, is the goal for beta to get all the incomplete baseline systems like missing trade skills in before moving to beta? Not all the trade skills, because we made a giant list of like crazy shit, and some of that stuff will just be coming in during early access. But stuff that is like really core for us to have an understanding of how it works, we want to get in. So we've got a big list of things that essentially we're like, the beta test should be ensuring that we're able to test core functionality, core pieces of our vertical slice before we go into early access, to make sure that these things work as we hope they would. And so the target is like those things. Iron Dad, yeah, that's correct. Pretty cool seeing your name pop up on Reddit posts talking about the start of this project and Unrest and how far it's come already. Yeah, it's pretty surreal to think about how this thing started and then where we're at now. It's really fun. It's a cool project. Especially since, I mean, my day job has just been making these games for a while now, and so it's kind of cool to be on a team that is a volunteer-based distributed team, and yet they operate so well and get so much shit done and are so pro. It's been really cool because to me it just feels like making the game, right? Like it just feels like this is what game development feels like. What I've been doing for the last, like, I don't know, 20 some years. But it's really cool to see that we're doing it in the manner that we're doing it. Mark this is on red so I don't lose it later. Okay, cool. Right on. Meddler said basically role play it out. Oh, like getting information from the folks in game about how stuff works. Yeah, so the newbie quests are kind of different sets of quests, have different things going on with them, and the hope was that it would create more discussion, and that some people would figure certain things out pretty quickly and be able to share the knowledge with other people in OOC. Some quests send you places so you know where things are. Some places are more mud action focused, and so it's like, oh, you know, the people that figure that out can help other people kind of be aware of what they are. You know, introduction of some different weird quirky things we have, like the fact that you can have certain abilities trigger the drops of certain items on mobs, right? Like you can, if you're using certain spells, it may lead to a certain drop happening that wouldn't ordinarily happen. Like what was the thing with the femurs, or the incarnal residue, which I need to remind the guys to maybe find to trade skills to loop that into. So, you know, and the hope was that in us being kind of, yeah, the cooked meat, that was a rad addition. I think Nick added that in and then just went through like all the spawn tables and added it in. It was a really fun, like, quirky addition, right? And it's just for us, we want to be, you know, I don't know if you ever played Project Gorgon, but Project Gorgon was, or is, so great about like having quirky stuff. And the idea was just like, man, that's so fun, and it makes you just kind of wonder what's out there. And it's like, let's have that kind of quirk while still having like the fundamental sort of like that solid level progression, you know, whack-a-mole RNG loots kind of feel that like EQ had, with more of the world sense of like a UO or Star Wars Galaxies, right? So that's what, when we talk about we like to crib from different things, it's combining those pieces to make something just that's got a kind of a different intent. But yeah, we understand that like some of the, you know, the lack of hand-holding going into it can be frustrating, but the hope was, and I think we've seen it so far, is that there are people that are frustrated, but there's some like some camaraderie comes out of that, and people are like, oh, I'm getting frustrated at this bullshit. Where do I find blah, blah, blah? And then someone's like, I'll show you. And next thing you know, you got a homie for life. He's coming to your wedding. You've just made the best friend ever. We're so mad at NWC's game design. Me too. Did we just become best friends? What's going on over here? Oh, you know what it is? I need to switch accounts because this stupid account, it always asks me. It's not premium, so it's like, are you still there? Let me switch accounts real quick. Loop playlist, shuffle playlist, go back to Twitch. I did the Paladin quest, and it was killing rats in the back of the tavern. I don't recall it teaching me much besides maybe where the tavern is. It humbled you. It was like, hey, noble Paladin, go kill bugs. There's actually something with the Paladin quest. I'd be very curious to see how many people find it. There is a secret lesson within the Paladin quest, which is your Paladin starting quest is only one quest, unless you happen to ask the right questions and get told about the second quest. Are you guys planning on adding new classes? For early access, we've got our hands full with what we've got. Over time, you never know. Molotov said, it's tough because I feel myself a veteran of this genre and someone who played mods prior. I'm not sure how I would have gotten through the fighter rub inscription quest without looking for it on Discord. I felt that more jarring than a tutorial. Hopefully online one will do the trick though. Yeah, and there's some stuff, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's some quests where we'll look at the wording or right, we want the quest itself to be as intuitive as possible. I did that quest as well. It could just be that we need a little more flexibility on keywords, a little more hints within it or whatever. Not sure. But we don't want to create stuff where it's just always the first result is to go out of the game. But I do feel like when you do go out of the game for things, it's not the worst thing ever because we feel the community extends beyond just in-game. Right? Because then you start to go, oh, I tend to go to this website or this wiki or ask these people or whatever. So, sounds like EA won't have the Deep Elf yet. I was really hoping for Deep Elf. Digital said, the first big update, Module 1, will have the Deep Elves. And we're working on that stuff now. We've got Module 1. We've got five zones for Module 1. And we are including the Deep Elf City. We're working on the Deep Elf City now. We've got the Underdocks. Chinny's got that in a pretty good state in terms of geo. And that's going to provide a lot of fun content. We've got a dungeon that is pretty damn complete. That'll be part of the first update. That is called Rothold. We've got an outdoor zone that extends the above ground outdoor area to the east that is in progress. And in a giant underground sea, kind of like Shallow Shoals, but underground. And so those zones will be coming online for Module 1. And we've started on everything now. Excuse me. And Deep Dunes. Deep Dunes. We've swapped Scarwood for Deep Dunes. Deep Dunes will provide a lot of play space as well. This is really burpy soda. It's great. It's the soda I told you about that's got like fiber in it. It's a weird brand. So Deep Dunes, aka Caves of Aram, will be part of it as well. So we're on pretty good track, pretty good pace for the Module 1 stuff, and we're continuing to refine and get things ready for early access. So the hope is within a short time after going into early access that we'll have module 1 available to you along with the deep elves. Dozakar. Yeah, the guy's got some good info from the stress test. May have to main an archer or druid till module 1. Yeah. Do we anticipate all the deep races coming on at the same time module 1? No. I think deep elves and deep gnomes so far. My son really liked playing a paladin after the Beatles this time. Oh, it's good to hear, Dezakar. I'm glad to hear he came back again. Will there be more mobs added for early access? In certain areas there will be, but we're also going to be looking at things like time to kill and other factors that factor into how much you're killing, how fast, blah blah blah. Ultra pissed. What's going on, dude? Yeah, Gorgon is fun. And then Master Jasto said, it's fun, but they went a little too far in the odd stuff and wacky systems for me. Right, and that's what I'm saying. Like, it's kind of a... You take a little bit. You don't steal the whole formula. So we're like, there's some fun stuff to pull, but... Will High Elves be available at EA release? No, they will not. They're not on the schedule yet, Evo. Did I already dupe this fire? I did not. That's stupid. Any idea if there will be class altering quests instead of just making it back from level 1? Tiny Kneebreaker, the whole quest to unlock different classes thing, I think we've discussed, depending on the quest or depending on the class that is being unlocked, it may vary. So I can't give you a definitive answer on that yet. But I will say that if we just transform you into like a whatever the thing you unlocked, then you miss a lot of content potential there. So it would be one of those things where on one hand, it's, it may suck to you that you've got to start over at level 1 in your new whatever combination. But on the other hand, it is cool that you have the combination now, right? Do you guys have anything in the works for events in the Night Harbor Arena? In the future, some live events and tournaments would be... I wouldn't be shocked if you see those. We've always liked things like Best of the Best and stuff. How often do you think modules will happen, or what kind of frequency do you want to release? Once or twice a year? I mean, the hope would be that we could kind of figure out a way of getting 2 a year on average, but that may just be too crazy. It's really going to come down to scope. It's going to come down to what happens with regards to what resources we have available, right? Do we have cash? Are there 50 of you? Are there 500 of you paying? Are there 5,000? Are there 20,000, right? That'll all factor into what resources we can bring to bear. And then we'll continue to refine like our setup to work with the situation, right? The hope is that we can move a little bit faster by outsourcing certain art. Then really the burden will be on design capacity. So, yeah, we'll have to see. It could be 1 a year. It could be... And then the question is, like, what's in a module, right? Like, what is the scope? So, like I was just saying, the first module with the Deep Elves, are, you know, it's 5 zones, but like we just are human. We're absolutely incapable of making a small zone, it seems like. So it's 5 zones, but it's like, I don't know, 10 zones worth of content. Yeah, because don't let me diddling around placing rocks and shit fool you. This is what I'm doing in my, you guys, if you're new here, this is my off time. It is 8:37 p.m. I wake up at 5:30 in the morning, 6 in the morning, right? So you guys are my evening hangout fun. So when I'm here just piddling around on placing grass and shit, please don't let that, don't think that that's the speed with which art gets done. What part of Germany am I in? Was stationed in Germany for 4 years in Rheinland-Pfalz. I am up in Bremen, so I'm a bit north of that. Does that mean we would have to wait for module releases for race drops, or would it be smaller updates to add that stuff? It depends on the race. I mean, we don't have a ton of races left that aren't out yet, right? And we've already said like deep elves and deep gnomes will probably go in together. We've got high elves, trolls, lizard people, and deep dwarves on the list so far. Am I missing any others? Hey, Olga Dev. You've been through Bremen on the way to Bremerhaven, the main port, which most military people get their vehicles shipped in and out of. Yep. Buddy of mine, one of my garden buddies at the little Klein Garden here, he works on the docks. And my wife used to actually work at a hospital in Bremerhaven. No half-elves yet. Are there any classes coming with those modules? There are no plans for additional classes with those modules. There may be some new race class combos with those modules, and then over time there may be some new classes, you know, just kind of based on if we feel like we've got our existing classes handled pretty well and there's some fun ideas. Yeah, different team members have ideas for additional classes they'd like to see, and I think a few of you guys have mentioned some, so you never know. You never know what'll happen over the years. It'll really just depend on how the project's going, right? Hey, Interworld. What's up, Redris, Levy Break? Who else snuck in here? Baratheus. Fat Chunk. Dan Leone. Evo Supreme 888. Thank you for the follow. What's up? Arthax / Key Malkir. You've been in here though. Cryo Cesar. Coot. Valen. Ogzy76, thanks for the follow. Stimulus Delta said, hey, just stopping by to say I love the game. Thanks for making it. I love that you love the game. Say the game becomes more successful than you think. Is there a possibility we ever get modules in a less than 6-month release cadence? Amnesiac, don't know. I don't know. I mean, again, like what's in a module? If we say like we're doing a module that is this theme versus that themed, in theory, if we were just blazing fast and maybe instead of every 6 months, it's like, you know, every 8 months, but it may have 2 themes smashed together. I don't know. Excuse me. Don't know. Don't know. Don't know. It could be slower. It could be slower. We could just realize, like, hey, man, we need realistically more time, and it could be slower. Now, but your question was like, if the game's really successful and has more resources, then I would hope that things move faster, right? The hope is that more resources means that we can get more folks time. We can bring some people on full time, and that provides us with the opportunity to move a bit faster. So hopefully faster. What's the rush? You guys want to be playing for years and years, right? Speaking of, Malkir said, yeah, I was here before NWC had a name when all this was speculation. Mischief launch, maybe? Aerodune? After Aerodune? Around Aerodune launch? Loving him in, though. Really happy it came together. Hey, thanks. Powerball is 233 million. Don't forget, everyone, it only takes 7 million to get M&M launched immediately. Yeah, if you win the Powerball, let's talk. Let's talk. Especially if you're from Florida. If you win the Powerball and you're from Florida, let's talk. Because honestly, you throwing your money away on us will probably mean the money will last longer. We'll take care of you better. As a Florida man, I know what happens when Floridians win the lottery. What's up, Esan? Think of the news stories you're preventing as well. Yeah, that's true. We're doing it to make the world a safer place. What's the temperature there right now? I'd have to look. 14 degrees, I guess, which translate that into. I always forget. Are we Celsius or Fahrenheit? Translate it into the other one. Yeah, translate that into freedom units. No, I'm in Germany. Astranian said they're in Florida. My mom just sold her house in Florida. She is now back in Alabama. Is it Nidak? Let me know if I said it right. Nidak said, I played EQ in 1999 until after the SOL release. It's always been my first true gaming love and a feeling I've been chasing ever since. Despite my constant search for my next EQ, I'd somehow never heard of your game until last week. I'd love to hear that. I played as much as I could this past weekend and have already divorced my wife and sold my kids in prep for the November playtest. Well, that saddens me that happened, but I do hope that you got a good deal. I appreciate what you're building and can't wait for EA. Thanks for the hard work. Hey, thank you for the sacrifice. Appreciate it. Welcome. You are legit in our book. Good job. Nidiak. I got it now. I'll forget it immediately, but I've got it in this moment. I've got it. Next time you're in here, I will have screwed it up. Verithius asks, I'm sorry, I joined late. What is a module? Is it like small little dungeons or events that you can release? It is, think of like a D&D module. That's kind of that is the imagery we're trying to conjure. So think of it as like a small expansion that is based on a theme or a hook. So it's a pretty major update, similar to like a league or probably a season. It's a new chunk of content that is moving the game closer to 1.0. And when I say small chunk of content, I mean, for us, the first one coming up is like 5 zones, and our zones aren't tiny. So it's a decent chunk of content. Crago says, hey, Sean, maybe a weird question, but would you care to talk at all about how the team dynamic at NWC has evolved as you've gotten larger? I'm particularly interested in the day-to-day operations side and challenges and subsequent choices you've experienced as the number of contributors grows. Yeah, I can. So we've grown steadily over the years, and I think we've benefited from the slow pace that we kind of have to operate on, or as a voluntary, like completely voluntary distributed team. And so certain problems that come up or certain questions that come up in normal development, it takes a little bit, we have a little bit more time to address those than we would in a like faster paced environment. And I think the benefit there has been we're not forced to make bad decisions as quickly. And we've had longer for our culture to kind of click, personalities to kind of get to know each other. Because we're distributed and because we didn't like come in with, like, oh, we brought in 3 people from this other team or this other company, which happens a lot on other teams. Like you need 20 people. So when you bring in this good person and they're like, hey, I know 4 other people, and then you interview them, you bring them in, it can be a little bit cliquish. They can bring in like, oh, well, the way we do it at such and such, right? And for us, it's been a really, the speed and the personality, the speed that we've grown and the personalities that we have been really good about, they have asked a lot of questions. We're very open. Everybody's allowed to be a part of any discussion. We ask that people naturally, don't distract unnecessarily from certain discussions, or that they always maintain their primary purpose. Like, hey, if we brought you on to make the bagels, don't spend all your time like talking about the omelets kind of thing. And folks have been respectful of that. We've had turnover over the years. I would say a lot of our turnover has just been like people starting families, because our team's age is kind of like you guys, which is like 35 to 44, right? And so we've had a few people drop out to start families and dedicate time to that stuff, which is hugely respected, and they always stay in our alumni pool, and we've got a little channel Discord, and we'll always want to keep up with those guys. We've had a couple just kind of like personalities didn't work over the years, and we got that resolved pretty no drama. And so I would say the day-to-day operations, we're not great at like strict project management, but we're pretty good about constant communication. And so I do think the just like constant communication and encouraging people to talk to each other has made us a more effective team than some, you know, some other teams in the past. If that makes sense. Challenges are communication can be hard sometimes if you've never met these people in person, right? So again, encourage over communicating. But the teams now, we went from like 4 people in year 1 to almost 40 people at the moment. We're at like 37, 38. I'd have to look. I think 38 people. We've got a few people that are pretty quiet. We've got other folks like Cod, like you just said. They're little chatty Cathys. But they're good people, and the personalities get along. I don't know. I could be missing some like deep-seated hatred between folks or conflict or whatever, but for the most part, like everybody just kind of gets along. Or if they're not happy about something, every once in a while somebody will shoot like a DM and be like, "Hey, I'm kind of pissed off about this thing." It's like, okay, tell me about it. Like, let's talk it out, bro. And then it'll be like, Timmy's frustrated with Sally, and then we just get Timmy and Sally together and be like, "Hey guys, you're good people, you're passionate people. Let's figure it out." And then they talk, and shit's good. So, yeah, there's definitely some HR kind of responsibilities in there. And, like we try different things for project management. We do our best, but we're not like super structured in that regard. We just try to communicate a bunch. But I do think one of the biggest problems I've seen on teams in the past is they're not given enough time for pre-production. If you ask any team, it's not enough time for pre-production. And again, I think us being slower has been beneficial in that regard. And teams will quickly get to a point where it's like, "Hey, we need to finish the game. We're running out of runway. Like, we need to finish the game. We promised the publisher," or whatever it is. And they scale too fast. There's no chemistry. It's, people aren't maybe necessarily 100% passionate about what they're doing. They're there because it's a job. On the flip side, for us, none of us are getting paid. The project only costs us money. So everybody's here for passion. So that's pretty dope. Trembori 25, thank you for the follow. Squirrel 1210, thank you as well. Does that make sense? Who asked that again? Let me scroll up. Krago did. And then Digital 130 said, "Are there any plans to prevent poop socking of no-lifers for the casual crowd?" I always feel bad when you hit a wall because a portion of the player base can afford to be on 24/7. Not that I don't want there to be content for hardcore by any means, just an unachievable thing for me these days. We're trying to figure out a formula where we provide goals and aspirations and a role for the poop sockers, and we provide a world in which you feel good coexisting with them. So, does that make sense? And I think little things may wind up factoring into that, like even just being able to, a little more focus on trade skills and trading and housing. I don't know. Did you guys see the recent housing implementation stream? I've been implementing like some housing volumes and stuff. I don't know if you guys have seen that. But I've gotten so jazzed about seeing the, housing go in, because I think it's just going to have such an impact. When you're running around in Night Harbor, did you see like more and more of the signs being available? Like housing here. I just, there's so many unique, interesting houses and stuff. And I can picture some of them being shops and some of them having guilds, and it's just. But the poop sockers are kind of important though. You love the little house? Yeah, I've got it labeled as in the little data over here in the hierarchy. It's like house dash small SMOL guild dash small There's a bigger one that can like have a little goblin guild or halfling guild or whatever. It's mostly been on the west side of town so far. Poop soccers are actually a minority of the player base, and they're good people to have around. I mean, they're aspirational, right? They're gonna see some and do some cool stuff that's, you know, gives you something to dream about. Like, oh man, one of these days it would be cool if we're able to go there, right? I think that's important, and it's a cool part of these kinds of games. You don't want everybody doing everything all the time, then it doesn't feel special. Derelict says, rushing pre-production has always been something I've seen in almost all studios I've been at. It's pretty frustrating for sure. It's so frustrating for a team. And I really will say that it's been a huge benefit to us, the pace of development. I've got a couple more here. Pull some over here as well. Problem only comes when the no-lifers heavily benefit from denying other players the ability to play the game. Yeah, so I mean, we just gotta watch, because I think you're talking about like what, monopolizing certain camps or spawns or whatever. And I think that's where, once the game continues to be fleshed out, that's where some of the item redundancy and multiple paths for certain item types and things like that will come into being. I don't know. We'll keep an eye on it, guys. I'll be curious to see if it winds up becoming a negative dynamic or one that over time you kind of you see that it's maybe not as horrible as kind of predicted. But I mean, we could be overly optimistic and then we'll just deal with it. If the problem is people are playing the game too much, then we'll work on resolving that. A long time ago, I put in so many of these little grass sprigs, and then they got nuked at some point. They're still in Telekir, and I love them. I mean, Dozakar, like, I understand the concern. And I do, you know, I've been there. Like, I didn't get my J boots until the last few days that they were in Najina. I was part of like this Congo line of people in original EQ, whereas like I sat there for 3 days. Sat there for 3 frickin' days. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on it. People, when I say that, you know, people might be like, oh, that's not... You know, they don't... We're not blowing it off. We're not, you know, we understand the concerns, and we'll definitely... We'll you know, when we say we're keeping an eye on certain things, we absolutely are. Let's see. Has the team ever considered putting in a boss that you don't expect players to kill? Maybe like that one dragon in EverQuest devs didn't expect players to kill? Kuzo, you mean, or I guess it's Kuzak. You mean the sleeper? Or? We have not discussed, and we have not put in anything we don't think anybody will kill yet. that I know of. Yeah, and so the goal is not to have you sit there for 3 days. I was just using the example of I've definitely been there and done that. So you can kill GMs. They are not NPCs. The nice thing about J-Boot's quest was there's poop sock option, camping AC, or you got lucky as hell stumbling on the AC in a desert row. My ex-wife, back when she was still my girlfriend, she did not have J-Boots. And it was after the Ancient Cyclops had been put in. And she was pretty high-powered rogue at the time. We were part of a raiding guild on 7th Hammer, and she was running somewhere by herself, and she said, I think she was running through South Row, and she said, "Hey, is this Cyclops thing the one for the boots?" Like, she just typed it, you know, "Hey, is this Cyclops thing the one for the boots?" And I don't even think I was at home. I think I was at work, and she was like at home. But I was logged in, and she was like, we were like, "Yeah, get it before anybody, can you," like, and she just went over and like flattened it. And I was like, "Dude, I sat in a chair suffering for 3 days and you just ran across them." I was a little salty. That's why she's the ex. Yes, that was it. That was absolutely it. Zorko said 7th Hammer. What, are you 7th Hammer as well? Never saw AC in all my time playing, so I just rolled Bard and called it a day. Nick and I camped AC on, I think it was Eridune. And it was wild because one, we were camping in Ocean of Tears, and AC finally popped and a Necro zapped him, just melted him before we could even get to him. We saw him. He was like, "There he is," and it was just like, "Oh shit!" And he got melted right in front of us. But then, believe it or not even kidding, I think it might have even been on a stream. This Necro got him, and like 2 spawns later, he popped again, and we got him. And that was that's the magic of this style of game. It was just that moment. Like, I remember it. It was so cool. Uvan11, thank you for the follow. There are people that camp the crap out of AC and corpse the rings. Tell me, corpsing will not be a thing in M&M. Nothing like seeing 15 corpses for the dude that constantly sells J-Boots. I'm old and forgetful. Help me understand what you mean by corpsing. Like, not selling the loot rights. Corpsing, like just having corpses with the ring and then like multi-questing. Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Because the ring's not tradable, right? So... And then you sell the multi-quest rights. Yeah, that's what I thought. Makes sense. It's interesting. I don't think you can multi-quest in our game. Do you guys that are out there cheating? We have both, Tupac. We have lore items and we have... So we have you can only possess one of, and we also have you can only wear one of. Tiny Kneebreaker, thank you for the follow. Now the frequency with which we're using each of those is not something I can say offhand. And yes, I am completely distracted with a bullshit task like adding grasses to stuff. Apologies, I get distracted. It is not ADD, it's just a lack of discipline. I'm not the one adding the ord nodes. That is all Rift. Tiny Kneebreaker, I see it. I will laugh internally and I will not comment. I think you need a patch of grass on top of that stone pillar. Up here? I don't know if that'll work. That seems too crazy. There'll be some ongoing changes to the nodes and stuff like that. As we're what was I doing? Oh yeah, adding these guys. Wondering if M&M's plan to add a new healer class. Kind of wish they had a healer like the Friar in Daok or Disciple of Cain in Warhammer. I think both of those are relatively new references that I haven't heard. I've heard was it not what was the one from Vanguard? The Blood Priest? No, the Blood... Not Blood Mage? Blood Disciple? The Blood Mage. Okay. That one's come up a bunch. Loved Friar. Just, you know, always feel free to suggest. You never... What did I just do? You never know. Yeah, Chinny, I haven't heard Friar either. So you never know. Now Chinny will champion the Friar. So there you go. You now have an ally. You have a champion. Chip said Vanguard had a disciple that was like those classes. Well, so I think you may even have a second champion in Zilith. Hey, Tiny Kneebreaker, thank you for that. I appreciate your appreciation of certain little details. All right. Would be interesting to have a heal like a Fury, where you heal through DPS. I read Fury, which I think was in your intent, but you did, in fact, not to pick on you. Blue Knight, you did spell it furry, which is a very different. Redress is like, either way. Battle furry. Oh Lord. It's always been fun trying to explain my profession to my parents. Sorry, I'm being quiet. I'm thinking. That's why I get so quiet. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, add that, yeah. Just. And then these guys are kind of hidden over here, honestly, so. When we get down on that road level, you can't see anything over those dunes. Anything could be hidden over those dunes. Including more low-level camps for you guys. Anything. Yeah, you can't see shit over there. But you guys will know. And you'll share the word. But those are like, you can see those camps, but they're kind of ominous. Big fan of the water elemental island camp. Do we need a sand elemental camp? Is that what you're saying? Trimmer worms. As soon as we get some worms made, maybe we'll bring some back in here. Dust devils are terrifying. I think first put those in. Would you guys be open to another entertainer type class or having bards able to work like the Star Wars Galaxy's entertainer? Love the idea of playing music, dancing for tips as a noob, vagabond, make money. I would love for us to figure out some ways to be able to, oh man, to be able to cater to that type of thing. Like, but it's one of those things that's not pressing for now. So it's very much a during early access, on the way to 1.0 or 1.0 and beyond kind of like. You know what I mean? Slam poetry as a class? Yeah, that's exactly what we're discussing. Slam poetry as a class. Break into Electric Boogaloo dance off. Capoeira. I always say it wrong. Capoeira. Sexy dance fighting. So, in Breaking 1 and 2, it was Turbo. And what was the other guy's name? Something with an S, I thought. Got any alpha keys today? Do not. I do not. But I do have a system that Swanee set up that I'll eventually have to use, but it'll probably be beta keys, not alpha keys. Alpha's pretty filled up, and we're really wanting to concentrate on getting to a beta ready state. You managed to get your friend hooked on the game this weekend. Game is amazing. Well, thank you for that. First of all, thank you for your service. Had your friend played any sort of classic MMOs, or were they was it completely new to them? Played WoW, was unfamiliar with old style MMO. Nice to hear. Nice. Very good. Very good. That's what we like to hear. Very good. Yeah, there's more of those than people seem to realize. Like all of the people that were telling us about who will or won't play our game without... Yeah. Apparently, there's some people checking out our game that because I get DMs and stuff as well every once in a while. It's like and people will be like, hey, you know, I just started playing with my wife or whatever, we've never played a game like this, or she never played a game like this, and we're getting a lot of like, you know, positive feedback from people that weren't, I think, people that a lot of folks would think are our target audience. Cave Wugzug said, how about that floating combat text? Am I right? Please just DM me your email that you registered with so I know exactly who to ban. Sariad said, old school RuneScape and the classic vanilla servers have really opened people's eyes to these more intentionally paced games. That's what I like to call it. People are like, this is tedium porn. I'm like, no, my friend, this is intentionally paced. I was going to make an inappropriate joke about sex and pacing relative to the individual. I will not make that joke. It is inappropriate. Needless to say, our pacing is intentional. Pause. Well, the pause doesn't work when I... The pause only works if I say it on accident. Cad, don't make the joke. We need to have a Robot After Dark stream when I retire. If you guys are still around when it comes retirement time, I will do a very special, this is the last time you're ever going to see me before I move into the mountain stream. And I will share everything. New generation getting the excitement of all we had when EQ first came out. Yeah, I mean, it was new to us at one point, right? Like these games. So why would it be so weird that it would be new to other people? People are like, oh, but the attention span these days, or people... There's often the argument too of like, these games changed for a reason. Well, they did change for a reason, but it wasn't that like everybody was trying out like, I don't know, like EverQuest and going, oh, this is the worst thing ever. I mean, it had 500,000 subs for frickin' sake. Right? It had 500,000 subs during an era where nobody had video cards and everybody was using AOL. And then people are like, yeah, but there's so many other options to play or spend your time with now. Yeah, that is true. That is a competing factor. But there's also like a total addressable market that's like significantly larger. So I don't know, man. I don't want to talk too much shit. We still got to have some customers first. But if we have a bunch of customers, I'll probably talk shit. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to lie to you. It's the worst thing that could happen. Us having a decent subscriber base. Talk shit. I promise I won't do that. Please don't let that deter you from supporting us. But yeah, it'll be on your behalf. If we have a very humble little player base, that's fine. We'll still love you and cherish you. But oh, should that be a stretch goal? One of those thermometers with sub counts at the top. Talk shit. That's the stretch goal. No, but on the like more for real legit side, it would be cool to see that if this works, then hopefully it encourages some other teams to like try some different stuff. Right? Like I'm hoping teams are more open with their player bases in development. Like a lot of this like open development stuff that's happening, all that they're doing is, you know, not shit on anybody, but it's like it's not really open development if you're doing like a canned demo every once in a while. That's not really, is that really open development, right? Like doing sort of like a controlled stream every now and then, that's not really super open development, is it? Having to come in here and deal with you crazy people on a regular basis, unscripted, that's open development. That's too open. I think this is a bad idea. We should stop it. How was Airsoft? Wickersloft? It was good. It was fun. It was cold. It was wet, but it was a lot of fun. In all fairness, only mildly crazy. Torque. Come on. You guys are crazy. Be real. You're not fooling anyone. Cave Wugzug, I appreciate your enthusiasm. You know what? We would be happy. We would just be happy being employees of the project. Let's start with smaller goals. Let's start with we have enough money to pay ourselves, pay the team, and then we'll move up from there. Then we'll get crazy. Fine, but sometimes you need to have the self-inspiration that things are going better. Is that what you think I mean by crazy? Amnesiac, every time you use the Nick emoji, what are they called here? Emote. I look up and I was like, what did I do? Did I do something wrong? Why is he staring at me like that? Did I show something top secret again? I mean, there's lots of different crazy. Self-delusions don't always have to be. It's true. Well, if you read about Steve Jobs, not to be cheesy and invoke Jobs, but he had a lot of people refer to his reality distortion field. I think it was it. Like sometimes you just gotta like make your own reality, right? And in terms of like working on games and stuff, it very much is a process of like willing a thing into existence. Because dude, it is a challenging process, and sometimes. Hey, I saw that Wicked Sloth. Listen, I added. I don't even want to hear this. I placed 3 rocks today. Shit. I added a camp. I added another camp. I added another camp, and I placed grass. not rocks, grass. So, I'm trying to give you guys some more content, and you're over here poo-pooing. Best I can do is I napped today. Dude, I took a nap from 8 a.m. till 9 a.m. I'm not going to lie. And my dog curled up in a ball right next to me on the bed. Because when I nap, I just lay on my back like this typically, or with my hands at my side, my feet are crossed. And I pulled my hat over my eyes. It took a long time for my wife to get used to it. It looked like I'm just in a coffin. And my dog curled up next to me. I stuck my hand underneath this little fuzzy ball of warmth. And I just crashed out. And I slept so hard. It was so good. I know, I'm just kidding, Wicked Sloth. Invielic. Hello. Yeah, I mean, there's room over here, right? So we can squeeze in some more camps. I think we can probably get some stuff in SD as well, but we've been talking about it and I was like, what am I going to do on stream tonight? I'm always so unprepared for what I'm going to do on stream. One of the things I was going to do on stream literally was just answer comments to VODs until people got in. I was like, I'll spend the first 20 minutes just answering comments because I need to get caught up. But yeah, there's some, so I was like, let's get this done. Let's get these camps in here. False camp that has spikes, a little pit, that would be cool. Qualinos, hello. Late for the bus naps? Yeah. You know how they are, Isan. When I first met Jasmine, she had this like wooden bench in her kitchen. And I would just crash out on that bench hard. Got a monk to 15 and held down Battle of Wormsbane with 3 of us for 2 hours. Got some good drops, fun times. Right on. Gotta make the game more difficult. Because of you. Everybody's gonna blame you. BD84, what's going on? How was the event? It was really fun. We had a lot of fun. We had fun. We were bandits, so we did some scandalous scoundrel stuff. Are there plans for daytime mobs at the ghost camp close to you? I always wanted to camp that spot with a group, but they spawn at night. I thought there was some. I thought there's some bandits around there. Are there not some bandits around there? Maybe not right at it. We'll have to take a look. It's a fair point. If you're saying they're not there, then I assume they're not there because you were there and you didn't see any, right? So, kill count. My kill count was. I don't know that I killed anybody. But we were the first team, and it was just 2 of us, and we were competing against other bandit teams. We were the first team to complete the main mission series. That's pretty cool. I think I might have killed some folks when we went into we got bussed into this toxic zone. They had a very clever thing at this one. We hadn't planned on showering the whole time we were there. It was going to be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, come back on Sunday. So there's going to be 4 days without a shower. But they had this thing, mission that you could go on where you go into the contaminated zone and you would put on a full-on zip-up, like contaminate, like a not decontaminate, like a contamination vest, not vest, suit. And so I just took my plate carrier off, put it over the thing, blah blah blah, and then you get in the back of a deuce and a half, and they drive you into this area in a hazard suit, yeah, a hazmat suit, and you hop off, and then you gotta like go through this apartment, this neighborhood where there's a bunch of apartment buildings. And then they like are popping up out of windows and stuff, and you got to kind of fight them off while people are looking for stuff. And then you run back, you get back on the truck, you get bussed out, and then you can opt to get decontaminated, which was free showers. free showers. And I was like, oh man, I didn't bring you soap or towel. And they're like, we provide everything. It was amazing. So that was pretty cool. And then when Jasmine, she was like, I was like the only, I think she was the only woman that was with us, so she had a separate shower. I was like, she was like, how many people are in there with you? I was like, oh, it's like 3. Did you have a lady like scrubbing your back and stuff with the brush as well to decontaminate you? She was like, what lady? I was like, we had a lady that was scrubbing us down. You know. It wasn't true. It was for a chuckle. Got a dirty look and a chuckle out of her. Nothing beats a free shower, it's true. Is this airsoft game similar to Tarkov in design? It's similar to Stalker in design. You got Stalkers are one of the factions and they're running around collecting artifacts and stuff. And doing different missions. We're bandits. The military, so there's an army faction and a freedom fighter faction. They're constantly going at each other, and we just kind of avoid their fights. Yeah. And so we learned, like last year we tried to get in more gunfights, and this year we tried to do more missions, and we were just doing tons of missions. And had a lot of fun with stuff. A couple of guys were on a separate mission. They're from the Stalker faction, and we had met them earlier when we were working on our guns before the game. And the 2 guys that we had met before, we ran into them again. They're like, hey, we were on a mission that made us go by your headquarters, and we stole a ton of stuff off your boss's desk and ran. And I was like, dude, I heard about that. He is pissed. So Boris, the bandit boss, had his stuff stolen off his desk. Sometimes he expects it. Like Jasmine we'd be sitting there talking to him about another mission, and she'd like steal some gems or something else off the desk and put it in her pocket. Like we're encouraged to try to steal and sell it somewhere. That's part of the game. But anyways, these guys stole a bunch of stuff. And I'll tell you the truth. It was a lot of sex toys. Our boss had a bunch of sex toys on his desk, along with like guns and grenades and bombs and stuff. Because he's bandits and it's Germany. Go figure. And so we're like, that was you? Holy shit. And so we talked him into I was like, will you let us turn you in and see how much money we get for turning you in? Like, we'll take you back to our base as prisoners. And they were like, well, what do we get out of it? I was like, I don't know, friendship. We'll appreciate it. Maybe we'll split some of the money with you. And then the guy was like, you know what? We couldn't work out a deal. And then I said, you know what we could do? We could bring you back, because we have a big courtyard and stuff. We could bring you back and make a big deal about the fact that we captured you. And then we'll get money. And one of your guys can sneak back in while everybody's in the courtyard and steal more stuff. And so that's what we did. So I asked Boris earlier in the day. I was like, Boris, because we discussed this the night of the first like day before the next day. And so the next day I was like, Boris, we heard about these guys that stole your stuff. He's like, yes. And I was like, what would you give us if we find them and bring them here? He's like, everything. I was like, all right, we're on it. And so we went back and we like had some coffee with the guys and talked about our plan and stuff. And so we brought them back and we get them in the courtyard and we're like, Boris, we've got the young men. Der Jungs is in German. Boris, wir haben die Jungs. And like people started coming out, and he came out with his gun, and like there was a whole production, and he's just like, "You steal from me!" And there's a bunch of acting, and they're screaming, "No, no, no!" And he threw him in the pit where we execute everybody, and was executed. It was great. It was a lot of fun. And then meanwhile, their third guy was in there stealing more shit. It was wonderful. And he gave us 2,000 rubles. He just gave us a handful of money that he had just gotten from somebody else. So yeah, there we go. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. Why is I not formally invited to the stream gala? Ollie, you're late. Why are you late, Ollie? Do you no longer care? Any secret fire pots or trees from Kelathan to Caladim? Well, I mean, it's secret. Anyways, those are not zones in our game. It's Kelathic. Really? There's no update? It's possible that Discord's not providing. Yeah, Discord's got a stream notification. Torque the Tank said, "What is your personal favorite asset in your kit?" Which kit? In this kit, these wonderful grasses. The M&M ones? But do you mean like these assets? I am not in charge of herbs, Qualanos. That is a rift thing. But there will be more grasses. Yeah, no, assets is fine. I just wanted to narrow it down. You've got it right, Torque. No joke, I really do love these grasses. I'm not even joking. The grasses are awesome. I think the orc tent that that Bjorn made out of the goblin tent. You know the goblin tent, right? He made an orc tent that is pretty awesome. Does the grass lead to a secret tunnel? No. Or am I just saying that to keep it secret? It is, yeah, the double bluff is real. I'm trying to find that orc tent now to show you. Orc tent's pretty badass. It's actually really enjoyable to watch Sean work it. 160p. What are you watching me on? Your fridge? Is it meant to be black or just shaded to a place? Black, because it's orcs and they're evil. His toaster. I can imagine his espresso machine. Ollie's watching the stream on the Expressinator 8000. Ollie and I have this game that we play once a year. Sometimes twice. Ollie, I will have a nice fancy coffee somewhere sometime. And I will go, man, I would really like to do... Oh, by the way, hey, Dark Inside. Sorry I missed you when you came in. I'd like to get an espresso machine finally. And so I'll hit Ollie up and be like, all right, what's the latest on espresso stuff? And he'll send me all these links to really cool stuff, like great research, great information. And I'll look at the cost of all that shit and I'm like, nope, it's not happening. Every year I do it, once a year. He's like, you just need this $100 grinder. It's the cheapest one you can get that works. And then here's this $400 thing. And I'm just like, dude, I can't do that. Can't do it. I'm too cheap. $100 grinder would be a steal. That's what I mean. Yeah. What is it, like $200 or something? I just can't do it. Kimmery, what's going on? Burr grinders, they're cheap. Really? Ollie, are they good? What mic arm do you have? Who makes it? It's actually a relatively cheap, shitty one. I don't know. I think Trust. It's a Trust mic, so it came with the mic, so I think it's Trust. It's a Trust USB mic. I got it in Sweden. Will Azrael lose another piece of jewelry for us to find, like Azrael's ring? You never know. But I will not be the one that puts it in, because we cannot put our own stuff in. Just got a road arm. Mine has been brilliant for a decade now. Just get a road arm. Yeah, but I'm too cheap to get a coffee maker. I drink instant coffee. You think I'm getting a road arm? That sounds like that's big money stuff. Azrael's pinky ring is broken. Oh, that's funny. Got 2 coffee grinders, one for coffee, one for herbs and spices. But are they the fancy coffee grinders or are they like the electric one that I have? Like the electric one. Yeah, I've got one of those as well. That seems good enough to me. Good enough for me. Instant coffee, he may or may not yet be lost. Do you add cream or sugar to your coffee? Of course I do. I like my coffee. I like my... what is it? I like my sugar with some coffee and cream. Isn't that the Beastie Boys lyric? Question is, which mic do you have? Dynamic, I assume, but branding? I don't know. It's a cheap USB mic. Here, I'll find it for you. Instant coffee is great because sometimes you need a quick pick-me-up. You can just sprinkle it in your morning cereal. Or just eat it. Just eat it. Just put it in your face directly. I forget when we got in a habit of drinking instant. Darius, Regis Rook, that is true. That was such a great song. Trust USB mic. You're dead to me. Thanks for cats on the moon, I guess. Well, that escalated quickly. I'm fairly certain it's this. This, darn it. This is the level of sophistication we're rocking here on the stream. Without this stupid thingy. I just let you hear all the spits and pops and lisps. It might even be not this one, but like an earlier version, because I got I got an earlier version of this. This is from 2019. My mic already has a poop filter. It's true. It's so expensive. There's a comment of price. It's true. Oh, the foam cover stops the same as the flex cover. Okay. See, I don't know these things. I don't know about this stuff. I'm not as fancy as you guys. Angry Iguana, thank you for the follow. Why is it doing this, Ollie? Let the man place bushes and stop talking about his poop cover. Oh, it's true. Can't get anything done with these topics. It's doing that because I'm uploading patches directly to your PC. I can believe that, Ollie. You are out of control. Just kidding, you're not Angelina Jolie. Be cooler if you were. But the hacker era one, not the current one. Let's be real. Angelina Jolie just unsubscribed. I'm sorry. It was... but hey, whatever. Less lag for you guys. Halle Berry and Swordfish. Or anything. Except maybe like Monsters Ball, I guess. Is this the Triple Rock camp? You nailed it right there. It's already got a name. Perfect. Which of these camps will have a Lord Shinri? Not in yet. You can't spoil it, Nosaba. Any way for people to support the stream? Don't see a way to sub. Nope. I've got all that turned off for this stream, but definitely please check out some of the other streams. We've got a decent number of folks on the team that stream. And did the button not work? Let me click it again and again, and then it works. So check out the other streams, and I think most of those guys have like subs and stuff available. And it is a big help if you do support the rest of the team. I've got that stuff turned off because I live in Germany. I'm an American, I live in Germany. And we've had some concerns about, like, you know, for the amount of cash that comes in from you know, a small stream like this, it's not worth the tax concerns, headaches. In Germany, they're very serious about their taxing. There's just like, let me turn this off. Oops, and then we don't have to worry about that. But always appreciative of the thought. But it's just not something that's Retro Gamer 5000, hello. How'd I end up in Germany? I moved here for work in 2015, and then moved to Sweden in 2017 for work, and then moved back here in end of 2020. Yeah. Pay me in compliments. That is good. Could have played this game as much as I had a lot of fun with my Ogre Monk. I'm waiting. You're waiting for early access, or which is fair. That makes sense. Aetherillians. Nice one. What's going on, Jumpin'? Waiting for the full release? 1.0? Ooh. That's dedication. Fair enough. This has some bugs? The game has some bugs at the moment? I don't know that that's true. That may be misinformation. Or disinformation. Or contra-information. Not really convinced if it's worth it yet or not. That's fair. But bugs? I don't believe that. I don't believe that. You saw a guy playing this game who fell under the world. I don't know that that is even possible. I've seen them. Vurity said, hey, I love your work. Keep it up. Also, can I pet your beard? You Maybe. Maybe. Maybe done with EQ, maybe, not sure. Retro gamer, you got a lot going on right now. P99, especially raid scenes, a bit toxic. Think of it as like I don't know. Sometimes toxic is good for you, though. Agreed, the beard is not getting the amount of love it should on this stream. You guys are starting to worry me a little bit. But also, it's time to promote my OnlyFans. It's just combing the beard all day. Weirdos. That was the example I had in mind. Alcohol is actually, it's not considered toxic. It is very toxic. Alcohol is very, very toxic. Well, that looks like, that's janky. This thing I just did is janky. Put it in there. Not lies, alternative facts, it's true. Alternative facts, it's true. Listen, I only encourage alternative facts if they benefit us. And so far, you have said that you're not playing the game because it's buggy, which I feel does not benefit us. So I am going to call your information untrue. Swanee, I'm not even going to read that shit out loud. I feel dirty just for reading it. I apologize on behalf of the whole team for Swanee's behavior. But he does make some great tools. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Now you've encouraged them. You were near the coast and you fell under the world? I do not. I do not believe you. I'm fairly certain that has never happened in the history of our game, especially not during the playtest before the last one. Oh my gosh, guys. I'm glad this is an adult stream filled with adults. Now I want to see all the M&M devs in a battle royale. Like a real life one? Oh. This soda I drank is not feeling great. Cod, that is true. Cod said, for the record, I have behaved so far, and honestly, that is the biggest surprise of the night. Hey, should we give away an alpha key or two? Your friendly giveaway would be good. Somebody was asking about it earlier, and I was like, I don't know if we're doing that at the moment. Does somebody want to manage that? I don't want to manage it. But if you want to do it. Crimson 360 said, yeah, I'll manage it. Turns out I won. Look at you. Congrats. Imagine the guy that asked earlier if he left. I feel bad. You're right. I don't mind the chat being spammed. I'm not reading it anyways. Everybody's just talking about bushes. Everybody's talking about trimming their hedges. Yeah, we're being sarcastic. We know about the problem, Retro Gamer. It's true. We're not. We're pretending that we think you made it up. We know it's true. Yeah, I thought we fixed it as well. Can you talk about what will happen to alpha servers come beta release? Will beta servers merge to alpha or alpha players restart on beta? You mean the open playtest servers? Because we've only, like behind the scenes, we've only got one test server that we're using. So far I haven't heard anything definitive on anything changing about the servers that for the playtest. I think when it came up most recently, the recommendation was that we keep things kind of the way they've been. And there's no need to, so far as I know, there's no need to wipe between alpha and beta. We want you guys to keep progressing and stuff. No need to wipe. Beard's not seeming that interesting now, is it, huh? You're like, oh no. EQ Katzen, it's true. The Dev Trav, what's going on? Dead Perch, hello. I can picture the voice. Animist, thank you for the follow. Kaikazam, thank you for the follow. Dead Perch, thank you for the follow. Oh man, I need to listen to more of that. I was just thinking that earlier because I was on Instagram or something. I saw that that they've got some new merch that just came out for Dungeon Crawler Carl. So EQ Katzen. Why am I? Is it Drioxius? Why? I feel like I'm obvious. I'm saying an obvious thing the wrong way. Joy Oxius. Noxious. Driox. Whatever. Joy. Hey, Joy. You're Joy now. You're just Joy. If whoever asked about the keys earlier, and I was like, I don't know anything about that. Hopefully you're still here. Good luck. Have fun. Joy Ox ish. Shush. The last part. My English is. I'm failing English. It's just. Scheiße. Was? No, just Joy. Yeah. Phonetics on the last part. Joy Ox. Obnoxious. So it's just. Fuck. Yes. Yes. It's just yes. Yeah, okay. Joy Ox, yes. There we go. Perfect. Ach, Mann. Mein Deutsch ist schlecht jetzt. Mein Englisch ist scheiße. Ich kann mit niemandem reden jetzt. Just Joy works. Great. Thank you. I like Keiko. Hello. Aaron Gunn, what's going on? I should try Arabic. I would love to learn Arabic. Manchmal spreche ich auch schneller als ich denke. Ja, aber es ist immer so mit mir. Since you mentioned you like cake, what is your favorite kind of cake? I am torn. I am torn between American German chocolate cake, which has coconut, and I don't think I've ever actually seen that cake in Germany a single time. Because it's chocolate with coconut. It doesn't exist here. It's not really German chocolate cake. I like Schwarzwälder Kirschkuchen, Black Forest cake. Tres leches is also very good. There's a Turkish version of tres leches that is fantastic. It's the exact same thing. And vierte, I like red velvet cake. So I also like I like key lime pie. It's not a cake. I like pecan pie. I like pumpkin pie. I like blackberry pie. I like apple pie. I like cherry pie. Carrot cake with a lot of cream cheese frosting has been my go-to favorite one. The Distance, Ballad of Chasey Lane. Is that, are we doing like a late 90s playlist? What's going on? Was mach ich bei dem schönes Wetter? Ich bleib nach Hause, weil es kalt und nass ist. I am Juggernaut. Thank you for the follow. Isn't it easier to say the pies we don't like? That's true. Yeah, that is my halfling side. I don't know that I've had French meat pie. I've had minced meat pie. Pineapple upside down cake is pretty damn good. Carrot is very high on my list for sure. My mom used to always make me a carrot cake for my birthday. Honestly, this is the best streaming moment I've experienced. Thanks, guys. Hey, we like cake. Oh, there's a giveaway. Cheesecake is solid. Giveaway. Give it away now. Give away, not give a what. There you go. I might have had poke cake. I think I've had shoe fly pie. I like bean pies. My roommate, one of my roommates for a little bit when I was in the army, was in the Nation of Islam, and he would always bring bean pies. He's like, bring me some bean pies, my dude. Best of luck. Is bean pie sweet? They have different ones. Some are sweet, and some are not so sweet. There's like different flavor. Does this game have German language support? Yes. It does not. Galriz, thank you for the follow. Alada, hello. CB4 has some great jokes with the bean pie. CB4 had some great jokes about everything. CB4 is an underrated movie. I think a lot of today's youth probably haven't even seen it and understand how good it is. You guys. Only 80 entries. Those are rookie numbers. Oh. Nick, you can't come in here. You can't come in here. Listen. Some of us aren't streaming for 7 hours, right? Some of us, hey, you can't come in here the afternoon wholesome lunchtime drives stream and start waving your big numbers around, all right? Listen. Obas, thank you for the follow. The entry to viewer count's actually a pretty big disparity. All these guys are already in the club. Everybody in here is already in alpha. Yeah, I might have lied on that one. Sorry, derelict. I was lying. I was trying to make you guys sound cooler than you are. I am sorry. I am sorry. Nick's tactic worked. Everybody's coming out of the woodwork. We're all under the bushes. Everybody's hiding. Everybody's crawling out of the bushes. There we go. What about second pie? We've covered all the pies, I think. Did I mention blackberry pie? Man, I'd go picking blackberries with my grandfather. and she would make a few blackberry pies, blackberry cobbler, some freezer jam. Do you guys know what freezer jam is? How often do you hide a mud volume in a random bush? Wouldn't you like to know? But it is definitely a thing that can happen. You guys do know what freezer jam is, right? Zulug 420, what up? Zul Diablo 3, thank you both for the follows. You used to make apple freezer jam? Oh, right on. If it's Wing Wednesday, what whiskey to have with them? I would make it like a themed wing setup. What about like a nice Japanese whiskey with like a teriyaki wing sauce? How are you feeling about that idea? Is freezer jam going to get us into beta? It might. Any little thing to endear you to us. Is freezer jam just like a thing that I can buy? Buffalo Trace with buffalo wings, that's also a good combo. You'll give me all the freezer jam? Pause. Big pause. Big pause and back away slowly. Who was I talking? I was talking to somebody on Discord, and they have this fantastic way of like typing, but then bolding different things, which I don't see a lot of bolded text in Discord. Let's be real. I was just like, am I in danger here? What's going on? Was it evil? Is that you? Evil Smar, is that you're evil in there? You hey, okay, real talk, real quick though. You and whoever it was last night, when I wake up and I read you guys being mean to each other, you got to be nice. Was it Colin? But Colin's a good guy too. His actual name's Colin, but Colin's a good guy. I had to change some of Colin's names, and he was very understanding about it because somebody complained. And he told me the backstory. Maybe I shouldn't share or whatever, but basically, he does the Colin name as a joke because of his real name. Kuzo, you won. He straight admits to breaking your terms of service in that thread. Listen, read the most recent part of it. He is okay. He is okay. You guys just get a little feisty online sometimes. Though I almost gave both of you a 7-day timeout for being mean to each other. You got to be nice to each other. Congrats, Kuzo. And evil. I'm gonna give you a congrats for being here and being the one that I was just talking about bolding. What's up, Sukin? You guys gotta be nice to each other on Discord. Don't be polarizing, evil. Why you gotta be polarizing? Don't be polarizing. You seem like a very lovable person. Making me hungry with this damn. I need to get some pie tomorrow. This stream has ruined me. Sometimes the truth hurts. I don't want to hear it. Sometimes that 7-day timeout hurts. You'll be logging in with your alt account, and I will track it down too. Listen. You gotta let us, if you're getting frustrated with somebody, just back away and let us know or something. But I don't want to see you get in trouble for no reason. I like you guys. Sevas, thank you for the follow. You pinged me 3 times. I didn't see that part. Now it's my fault. All right, I apologize for not being there for you. If you like airsoft, try mag-fed paintball. Blast been playing for years. I might try it out for fun, but I love our little toy guns. We got like gas blowback, like, you know, the real legit feeling little guys. So I, you know, got them because Jasmine didn't have a ton of experience with rifles and stuff. So Molotov, thank you for the follow. Airsoft Week was a lot of fun. Thank you. We're pretty much the best. How do we feel about airsoft duels to settle office disputes? I think just wrestling. Just wrestling. Americans and their guns, when will it stop? When you pry them out of my cold dead airsoft gloves. Oh man, this is not in place. How's team feeling about EA Crunch? Everybody doing okay? Everybody's doing good. Don't let them tell you otherwise. You let me know if anybody complains. Oil or nah? Are you talking about the beard? Are you talking about the bushes? Airsoft guns? What are you talking about? Oh, somebody's got oil? Oh, wrestling. He's like, Ali, do you have oil over there? I'll be right there. All right, that's too close to real talk. Who snuck in here? Was it Corvid? Scrolling up. Freaking sleepy. Yeah, it's Corbin. Yep. Yeah, new SGS camps. Lizard folk, I don't think are going to be module 2. Zukin compromised that a bit. When camps are spread out at a distance like this, having the occasional pather that goes between camps gives solo players with no CC a chance to pick off mobs there. Yeah, I try to have some little stragglers walking around. We'll get them in. Tenshijin 77. Thank you for the follow. Are the Ashira and the Dunes the same faction table as Telekir? I thought there were 2 factions in Telekir, and then the SGS ones were on. Yeah, shared that with them. I thought. How frequently do you pop named into these spawn cycles? Is there a process you use to determine this? It's something we've been discussing. For something like this, we don't necessarily need an oversaturation of named, but if we find that based on the level range, if there's kind of a gap in available items, then we might go, let's add a extra named in here or there. A lot of these are just meant to mainly be experience camps, just to supplement the just to supplement the amount of like experience camps at this lower end. So it's come up a few times and we just never got around to getting them in. So I figured why not do it on stream real quick. So we've added 1, 2, 3. I like seeing named that can spawn on more than one location. Yeah, and that's easy enough to do as well with unique mobs. Do you know if anyone on the team plans to main their character on a PvP server? I think we've got at least one or maybe two people that already have some super secret hidden mains in PvP. Really like the monk quest you guys had in there with the shadow. I believe that was Stab that did that. Dude in the basement. You can pass that level along on Discord. Okay. I'm trying to look for some relatively flat spots in here. Are there any dungeons or zones that are currently implemented and accessible that people just haven't stumbled into yet? Maybe. And for sure, in the not too distant future, like, yeah, there's absolutely more stuff than you realize, but. And I think for people that are like maybe not as leading edge focused, the more casual folks, I think you'll find that there's a lot of opportunities to discover fun stuff over time, and that'll definitely be a focus for us. Stimulus Delta, nope. Will there be class, quest, epic weapons gear? Yeah, eventually, but it's going to be better for us to wait for those until later. Because then there'll be more of the world that we can send you around to and explore and stuff. And I wouldn't be shocked if, as the game is kind of like at 1.0, that things like additional epic style quests, I wouldn't be shocked if that's something we find enjoyable and worthwhile to layer in more and more of over time. Are you implementing, if you're implementing key required dungeons, we getting a key ring, or do you have to haul a bunch of crap around? Key ring would be huge. There's already kind of like a hacky key ring that should be in the game. It's a container, but like a EQ style, it's just a flag on your key ring style thing. I don't know. We've tried to keep things as tangible as possible, if you know what I mean. All right, second giveaway. Let's go. That's good to hear, Dankus. I'm just being quiet while I watch all of your giveaways roll in. I was in a discussion with someone on Discord. They said the new con changes were in for red cons. Was that the case? My SK was still smacking reds, no issue. We also had a lower level enchanter charming reds to him with little no breaks. I know that stuff's continuing to be worked on. I don't know what the status of it was in this last test, but I know it's being worked on. Excuse me. Will lightning hit players? No, it will not hit players yet. Damn Bull, thank you for the follow. That made me think of Night Court. I miss some Night Court. They brought it back. I don't want to know that. I just want to watch the old one. Oh, dude, I saw an ad for Simon and Simon on Instagram, and I was like, Simon and Simon. Got to watch some Simon and Simon. Maybe some Magnum PI. Rakistan TV, thank you for the follow. Crimson 360, Mekith 74. Thanks all of you. Magnum PI, Simon and Simon, 2 hours of crime time. It would be so sick. The Syndra Jules, thank you. Be sure to get in the giveaways, guys. Get in the giveaway. Nick is gonna make all of your dreams come true. Are you guys gonna have a climate thing like what Pantheon does where you have to have gear for that area? Maybe something like that. Dude in the Basement, thank you for the follow. Just rewatched Dagon again. It's a great movie. Kazrax Gaming, thank you for the follow. These guys here are going to be a little wonky. Well, is Ashura ever come in more than one fur color? I thought we had more colors available. If we do, which I thought we did, I'm shocked that we're not using them. Hey, Big Ren 20. See? Zukin confirmed it, so you know it's true. Zukin said there are more colors. Just haven't seen them in. I'm shocked. Shocked, I tell you. Are there other Ashir casters besides Shaman? Swindle, that's a good question. I'm trying to think. I don't think there are... I don't think there... Maybe Druid? No. Hey, Corn Muffin. Yeah, we got... we didn't shoot a bunch of people, but we had a lot of fun. Yeah, good luck, everyone. Shit, man. I'm so sleepy today. I'm sorry. How many people are in the giveaway? $144. Hey, there you go. Those are some numbers. Your odds suck. You should go to sleep, Ollie. What are you doing being awake? You feel horrible today? I'm sorry to hear that. Is it the weather? AJ76, thank you for the follow. Your odds are definitely better than getting hit by lightning in game. This is true. Mekith74. Contact Nick. Via on Twitch with your Eminem account, email, and Discord. There you go, Mekith. Mekith77 followed 5 minutes ago and won the lottery. It is truly the American dream manifest. And thanks, Nick, for running. Thank you for running the lottery for everybody. Time to go bake your own alpha cake and cry into it. What flavor? German chocolate. What's up, Skeletal? Hey, is somebody streaming after me? Do we got a streamer after me? Another team stream? Paco Pio, thank you for the follow. ZBrush is on. Is he doing Eminem stuff? How long has he been on? Coop, have a good day. Rest of your day at work. Namdrib, the giveaways have occurred. We've had 2 so far. Okay. So Nick's not streaming today. ZBrush is streaming. Sometimes I feel bad when I raid him and he's doing his other stuff because I'm like, oh man, I hope I'm not distracting him from his portfolio stuff. Making in more interesting by adding something new would be fun. Maybe add a bounty hunter that when you do the kill quest, give like that customize your character if you had equipment for aesthetics only. We'll probably have different aesthetic variations of equipment that you can find out in the world, or potentially like craft versions of or whatever. Character guys have been doing like such great stuff with their armor and stuff. A lot of you guys raid over to ZBrush. I might do another key. That would be cool. You want to do that? You guys want to do that, and then I can get out of here a few minutes early. Not that I you know, well, I mean, I'm coming up on 3 hours, so. Any new bows being added? Eventually. You guys want to raid? Let's raid Zach then. I will. Yeah, we eventually want to get like games and stuff into taverns for sure. We'll raid Shadow Legends, Zach. That is true, Doggeroni. So hey, thanks everybody for being here. Stick around for the raid. We're gonna raid Zach. And to get you guys to actually stick around, because we know how it is at the end of streams. There will be another lottery. Hang out with Zach. Have a good time. I will see you guys on Friday. Thanks for being here, everybody. We will, if we don't raid anybody on Friday, we'll do the whole saying goodnight to everybody. But let me get the raid started. Thanks again. Let's raid. That's this button. Okay. ZBrush. Why doesn't it just show me all the team guys at top? I mean, come on, man. All right, let's start this raid. Okay. We're coming for them. All right. Thanks again, everybody. See some of you popped over there early. Cool. All right. I'll see you guys on Friday. Have a great one. Bye-bye. Well, I'm rating now. And then bye-bye.
We're almost at 4 o'clock. So I got about 1 more hour and then I can work on some.
There we go.
Stuff.